it's time. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. I'm thinking it's time. Gotta get it. Gotta get it.
Sorry, got to find my right notes. And then like awkward silence with 2,000 of your closest. How's it, everybody? So, it's fantastic to finally be in this room with all of you, really our most valued partners on this journey, and to share with you the strategy that we've been working on for the last 18 months. From the first discussion that I had with Amit and Nimrod almost 2 years ago, and when we were still negotiating the Amrod and Wizard deal, one thing was clear. We were going to invest for the future, and we were going to build something really special with the combined strength of both Wizard and Amrod. So here we are, after months of planning and deliberating, and the culmination of hundreds of hours of debate and discussion about how we could build the best offering for all of you. And now we're all systems go, and it really is exciting. So let me jump straight into it and lay out for you our vision for Altitude and why we're so excited. So, as Amit shared the journey of Amrod, I was reminded really just how incredible that journey has been. But for me, the biggest takeout is the excitement and the passion for our industry that is as strong as 20 years ago when Amit, Nimrod, and Craig sold their first beautiful bomb pen. And I think we should all give them a huge round of applause for that while we're here. So when Amrod moved into the new building and the branding facility, many people may have wondered silently, or as we like it in our industry, very vocally, I guess, what was next for Amrod? How could the business evolve further in a quest to provide a total solution and be the best promo wholesaler in the world? Although Amrod has always been very competitively priced, it was traditionally not focused on the value segment of the market, in particular when it came to clothing. This was identified as a real opportunity. And while the option to build this range from scratch was always there, the proposition of refreshing and reinvigorating Altitude was just far more appealing. The acquisition of Wizard presented a unique opportunity to take the Altitude brand and position it as a leading value brand in the promo industry. So during the course of this afternoon and the weeks and the months ahead, you are going to hear the word value a lot. I'm going to mention it a lot, and you'll hear a lot in the presentations. I have no doubt that if I ask 20 people in the audience, we will get 20 definitions of what value is. So let me share with you the way we see value and how we've defined it. And when we make reference to value, you have a clear idea of the context and what we mean. So let me start off by spelling out what value is not. So first, value is not poor quality. I'll say it again. Value is not poor quality. Value is not clearance and dead stock. And value is definitely not bad styling. So to create a value range, you need even more attention to detail. You need a complete obsession with the supply chain and where you source the products from and how you build the products. And so what is value then? So first, they're products that are fit for the purpose for which they were designed. They're products of good quality. And to achieve real value, you've got to apply some skill to engineer products to hit specific price points. Very, very importantly, value products are priced to give you unbeatable value and incredible value for money, but not through a downgrade of the product. The way that we've done it and our strategy is we've decided to reduce our margins in the Altitude range in order to hit these price points. And I hope you get excited when we show you some of the prices later. And lastly, these are items that are designed for high volume use, when your customers are looking for the best return on their spend, and for them is a key consideration. So Altitude, under the Wizard banner, has been a household name in promotional clothing since the start of the industry, as many of you who Amit asked to put up your hands earlier will attest to. The brand was a trailblazer to many who for the first time could get a trendy soft-shell jacket with your company logo on in huge volumes for a really good price. And with a later acquisition of Holbay, this pedigree extended to gifts and to clothing as well. And the two journeys of Amrod and Wizard converge because we wanted to bring to the market a really great value range, both in clothing and in gift, backed by the Amrod Total Solution. Our vision was to extend, and our vision is, to extend the Amrod offering to now include a value range. And we did this by acquiring Altitude and building Altitude into a significant promotional products brand. You'll notice we no longer refer to Wizard, but rather Altitude by Wizard. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. So what exactly is our vision for Altitude? It's simple, but it's clear. We're breathing new life into the brand that we love to bring you and your customers more choice and opportunity. We want people to ask for Altitude. Altitude is being brought to you by Wizard, but is powered by Amrod. Altitude is a value range of apparel and promotional products that's designed with your budget, your fit, and your needs in mind. And Altitude is sourced from the best suppliers globally, leveraging the institutional know-how of Wizard and the strength and expertise of Amrod, which will make Altitude repeatable, reliable, and consistent. Well, how exactly are we going to achieve this vision? So we have two main pillars that our strategy is built on. The first is the Amrod Group, and the second is creating Altitude into a hero brand. The Amrod Total Solution encapsulates who we are, and therefore both offerings will be serviced out of the same warehouse. All of our branches now house a combined Altitude and Amrod showroom, alongside the combined collection counters. While you will receive separate invoices and notifications for Altitude and Amrod products, we have one legal entity, and your account and your statement is combined. All these elements mean you get a consistent, familiar, and reliable service on both offerings. At the heart of the Amrod Group is Team Amrod, over 1,300 committed and passionate people who make magic happen every day for thousands of customers. Both offerings are serviced equally by Team Amrod. And I'm happy to announce that in the next 3 weeks, we will be combining your account manager, which means you will have one point of contact for your Altitude and your Amrod orders. Our aim is that with the knowledge that behind Altitude is the total solution of Amrod, you have the confidence to sell Altitude. Branding is the oxygen of our industry, and together with the brilliant pricing of Altitude, you will now enjoy the same lead times, quality, and branding expertise of Amrod across the Altitude range. So who said you can't have your cake and eat it? So you'll now have two offerings, the Amrod World of Brands and Altitude. These offerings and ranges will live side by side, but they'll be focused on their separate objectives and clearly differentiated. What links the two is the Amrod Total Solution, which ultimately is the engine behind both of these offerings. We believe the market is really broad and requires a wide spectrum of brands. We put up this slide to show you where our brands sit. If you look at the bottom, you'll see how many products there are in the brand, and running up the y-axis is the price. All of our brands have been carefully positioned to give you options across this entire spectrum of price points and styling. We have very little overlap in our Amrod brands, and Altitude creates a new space in this landscape. A large number of SKUs or products, and significantly lower price points. What's more exciting is following the green line to understand the path we plan for Altitude and the vision of the future of Altitude. When it comes to gifts, the individual brands are a little bit of a less significant part of the pie, as most items are sold under our generic brands. As Amit mentioned, we have plans for our gifting brands, which we will launch in June of this year. But once again, the Altitude brand will be focused on a specific area of the market: large volume and low value promo items at incredible pricing. The next part of our strategy is Altitude as the hero brand. So you will see around you today the relaunched Altitude logo, the relaunched Altitude identity. We believe deeply in this brand and what it offers. And in keeping with our strictly trade-only business model, Altitude has been designed as an end-user-facing brand. When you see Altitude by Wizard, this is only when we're communicating with you, our customers. But when we're out there in the market to our end users, you will only ever see the word Altitude. We're going to be investing significantly into brand awareness to create demand and brand consciousness among you and, more importantly, your customers to continue to grow our industry together. But we cannot build this brand without you. So I encourage all of you to embrace the marketing material that we're going to be creating and providing. We've built it for you to share and for you to make it your own.
I'm thinking it's time. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. I'm thinking it's time. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. I'm thinking it's time.
So a little bit of a taste of the branding you can look forward to, and this afternoon you should be seeing that all over Facebook. So this morning we also changed the domain from Altitude-C to altitude.co.za. We will maintain a separate website in South Africa for Altitude. This website operates in exactly the same way as the Amrod website and offers all the online features of the Amrod website. The good news is we've now created a combined dashboard, both on the Amrod website and the Altitude website, where you can see both your orders from Altitude and from Amrod, and most importantly, you can combine an order from Altitude and an order from Amrod into one delivery using our delivery service. Yeah. So today, we also launched a social media campaign for Altitude. I look forward to hearing from Mark after the break about how we can all use this powerful sense of community and engagement to build our customers, and ultimately our businesses. The Altitude Facebook campaign is around brand awareness, with no references to Amrod whatsoever, and the references are all about trade only. This content we have produced, again, for you to use and to share as your own. Today, we also launched a new white label generic website called promoafrica.com. With the evolution of the business into apparel and not only gifts, then altitude, as well as our expansion through Africa, our previous website, Promo Gifts, was no longer relevant. And so we've replaced it with Promo Africa. This website has all the products from the Amrod and the altitude ranges. It again has no references to Amrod and has been designed to allow end users to explore the product in an appealing and engaging way, but with no pricing or ability to quote. That's up to all of you. If you currently have a Promo Gifts website with your logo and your details, we will automatically create your Promo Africa version. We've also redirected your Promo Gifts traffic to Promo Africa, so don't worry about having to change your business cards or your contacts just yet. As Amit mentioned, the growth of the industry has been about the shift in marketing and media spend, and we believe this is really just the beginning. There are, however, still so many businesses and end users, in particular across the rest of Africa, who do not yet understand the power of promotional products. We believe that together with you, we can continue to build these markets. To achieve this, we will be launching a second Facebook campaign, and this will be around the concept of promotional products. We will be using our Promo Gifts platform to do this, and with the express goal of spreading the message that promo products really do work. So to close off, everything I've just told you, why is it actually better for me as a distributor? It's about having more to offer to a wider customer base, about exceptional value backed by exceptional service, and it's time to have a genuine alternative for entry-level clothing. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.